Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Fitness Business Authority podcast, episode 12. Today we have Rahz Slaughter on board. Rahz is a multiple fitness studio owner and entrepreneur. Rahz, do you want to say hi, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and of course what you want to chat about today?
Absolutely. First of all, Liam, thank you so much for having me here on the show. It's definitely an honor, and I'm looking to serve and give as much value as possible. My name's Rahz Slaughter, as Liam said. I'm a personal trainer, multiple studio owner, author, speaker, and most importantly, I am a father and husband. What I love to do is I love the fitness industry. I love helping people create the best versions of themselves, utilizing fitness and mindset. That's what I've been able to do for the last 18 years. Now I get to serve the fitness industry by coaching and consulting and sharing the same things that I do in my business with other fitness professionals to help them build theirs.
Good. Cool. So, I mean, obviously we had a little chat before we pressed record on this today, and we were really discussing what we were going to have a little chat about, and I think it makes sense to talk about your studios, because you mentioned you've got two studios in New York, and you're not planning on being near them anytime soon. So how have you got to that point in your business where they'll basically run themselves?
Well, the biggest thing there is systemization and understanding. Like, a lot of people use that word systemization, but what does it mean? And it's not fully automated. You can't automate a personal training fitness business because it's personal. But what I was able to do is create checklists and kind of, I would say, levels of authority and following up. So I have managers and I have a business partner. And what they have to do is checks and balances. And I'm able to I'm a micromanager as an owner. So I have cameras in the studios. I also have checklists for what they need to do when they open, when they close, after they finish sessions. And this allows everybody to be accountable for their actions. And one of the key elements to systemization is making sure that you have a clear job description of each and every position in your business. What I found is, like, you can't just say, oh, I'm a coach, or oh, I'm a manager, because what that does is allows the employee or team member to just kind of think, oh, I should do this some days, or I shouldn't. No, this is the 10 actions that I need to do each and every day to fulfill my daily tasks.
Can you give us some examples?
Sure. So one of the key examples is how we train our clients. So on Monday and Tuesday, everybody gets weighed in. And then after they get weighed in, anybody who is a pound or two over is an email, and is a checklist of an email that's sent out to the manager. What this does is it allows us to know which 5 to 8 or 9 clients are in risk of not hitting their goals. Then we personally reach out to those clients so that we can get as a personal touch. We have a very high retention rate because of this level of attention to detail. A lot of trainers go, oh, Mrs. Jones, you're doing great. You're doing great. You're doing great. You're not a cheerleader. You're there to hold them accountable as an accountability partner. This is one of the things that allow me to, when I get someone to come through a 12-week transformation program, they stay with me for an additional 9 months. So I don't have to do what's called the launch model, and every month I'm fishing for new clients. When I have one client, I have a great month, 20 clients come in, I'm holding those clients and retaining pretty much about 90% of them throughout a 6 to 9 month period.
So what are you talking about, one-to-one training?
Yes, so what we do at Metaburn Fitness is one-to-one in small group. I don't have any big boot camps or anything like that. My small groups are 2 to 4 people and one-on-one high-end premium services. So we're getting anywhere between $75 and $80 a half hour for a personal training session. That's one-on-one.
$75 to $80 per 30 minutes. How does that compare to what the average rate is in that area?
In our area, the average trainer can do probably about $100 an hour.
Okay.
So, I mean, and that's with myself, Greg, and one of my senior trainers. And then if you train with one of the newer trainers, well, you're going to pay probably about $55 to $60.
How does that? What is it about what you guys do that allow you to charge more?
Great question. So basically, one of the key elements that I talk a lot about is specializing, not generalizing. We specialize in working with women. So one of the things that I did early on in my business, and Liam, as we were talking, I started my business in 2008. It was basically, I said, I didn't want to be just another personal trainer. I didn't want to be just another transformation expert. So I decided that I was going to write a book on menopause. And I'm going to help women entering into perimenopause and menopause understand 3 key elements: exercise, diet, and stress reduction. When you put them together, they were the meta-burn triangle of success. That allowed me to charge more, because now when I'm marketing to a specific demographic, I'm talking to their pain, specifically the unknown pain that a lot of them don't even know they're dealing with. And I help them become awake of that pain and what my unique solution is.
So you mentioned to me before we got on this call today that you were planning to open a 3rd studio in Florida where you're living. I am going to be presumptuous and assume that you were going to use the exact same system to open your new studio.
Absolutely, without a doubt. I mean, one of the things is that if you find something that works, you keep doing it till the wheels fall off. And I'm not going to change that. Like, a lot of people, I've had actually high-end guru coaches tell me that I'm alienating 50% of the market by only focusing on that. Well, I'm actually not alienating, because I know my market, and 50% is a lot better than 0, because a lot more women in that age demographic hire high-end personal trainers.
I think, do you know what? I don't agree with the gurus. I don't know if you can see where I am right now, but that is my knee on camera at the minute, and I've got a couple of little arthroscopy holes. So when I found out I got injured, and I use this example a lot, when I found out that I got injured about 7 weeks ago, I wasn't looking for a generalist. I was looking for a knee specialist who could go and fix the problem that I have. And I think fit pros need to become more specialist. If you specialize, you can charge more. A knee surgeon or a shoulder surgeon or a brain surgeon or a heart surgeon charges more than the average general doctor. I don't know, what do you guys call a GP in the States? A general practitioner?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yep.
You're not necessarily turning people away. You were just making yourself more attractive to the people that you're going to help.
Absolutely.
So systems, KPIs, what are you telling these guys that are current? How many trainers have you got? So how many trainers have you got, and what is the system?
So we have 6 trainers right now, 2 senior trainers, 3 what we call kind of our entry level, and then Greg is my business partner. He's aka Mr. Nutrition. He does all our nutritional design, does all of our nutrition coaching, and we're currently going to be working with the software so that we can systemize that, because that is the big leak in our business, is that Greg and myself have to do the nutrition coaching.
So what, you're looking to bring in some nutrition software?
Yes.
And you have a nutrition set of principles that you guys stick to?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, Liam, I'm sure you've been in the game. You were telling me since, about the same time that I got in. So over the time, I've done everything. I've tried everything on my body. So I really go with what my client needs. But I'm precision nutrition coach. I'm a functional diagnostic nutritionist through Reed Davis and the guys out in San Diego. But the main focus, what MetaBurn does, is that, because we know that we're focused on women, it's really about understanding their nutrition and how we can get them to lower their stress levels. So if we lower their stress levels, we don't have to focus. They're not always in a fight or flight, which is going to allow their bodies to easily release body fat. Knowing your client is the key element to what type of nutritional protocols you're going to put with your program. I mean, if I'm a paleo guy, I don't want to be working with, menopausal women, because they don't need a lot of high fat. They don't need a lot of animal processed foods. They don't need that stuff, because that's going to just inflame them more. Their body is already out of whack. And this is a key element. Like you were saying, when I specialized, I had to dive deep. I bought probably at least 40 books on menopause, and I read them, and they were fucking boring. Excuse my language. But I had to read them, because I had to learn about what these women were going through. What were the symptoms that they were going to have to go through to get to where they wanted to go? And I needed to learn the language that allowed me to speak directly to them, so that they understood, hey, this is a male personal trainer that's talking about a subject that most people don't even want to mention. And I'm able to talk to them on a level and articulate my understanding and knowledge. What they were like, wow, yes, I want to hire you.
This is gold dust, because when we're chatting to some of our clients, and when we're teaching some of the personal trainers that we work with to to do their marketing, we tell them they've got to start learning to talk client and stop talking personal trainer, because personal trainers want to impress other personal trainers, and they want to use words like metabolic resistance and biosignature and strength and conditioning and call themselves a conditioning coach, whereas the general public don't know what those words mean, and it really confuses them.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. It's a bunch of techno babble, as Russell Brunson would say. It's and I've used it. I mean, when I was a young trainer, I was all this is what I do. I do high intensity interval training that's going to be metabolic, and my clients are like, "What does that mean?" I want to lose fat. Does it do that?
Yeah, and your market might not even be talking about losing fat. They would probably be even using words like losing weight. Because
well, yeah, absolutely.
They know the difference.
They want to lose weight. They want their belly, the belly to stop growing. They want to stop feeling bloated in the morning. They want to have energy. They don't want to feel tired and wired at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, they feel stuck as well. That's probably the one. They don't know what to do. And the thing about the fitness industry, and I wrote this on I think it was in a blog post this morning or on a Facebook group, was that people already know that they need to exercise and they need to either eat less or eat better. What they need to know is that you understand them, and that you are the person as a fitness professional that can help them. And that's got to be the first part of doing your marketing, is to go and understand that, and go and do the research on who your ideal client is. And it doesn't matter if you're a personal trainer or a small results-based gym. You have got to understand who you serve and what problem that you solve for them.
Absolutely. I think that's the key element. And, just to build off that, Liam, a lot of times we hear you need to niche or you need to know your avatar. But knowing your avatar isn't knowing their age, isn't knowing where they live or what their income is. That's not their avatar. That's some surface level stuff. You need to know what keeps them up at night. You need to know what's really, like you're saying, they're stuck. And say, have you ever felt stuck where you don't like yourself? You don't want to even turn the lights on when you're looking to get intimate with your husband. Mrs. Jones, can you relate to that? Because that's what they're really going through. And I think that once we dug there, it made, like you said, it made marketing very easy for me. I'm not afraid to go to a new state and start a new business up, because I know that when I start to market to my ideal avatar, they're going to listen because I'm speaking to them.
Do you know what the magic about this is, Rahz? Is that no one else is serving this section of the market. Everyone is going after the CrossFitters or the ladies in their 30s who want to drop a couple of dress sizes, or you've got the generalists. This is absolutely classic. It basically means that if you decide to come into a town or a city and open up a studio, you've got zero competition.
You know what? I know that. I mean, I actually went to, and I'm doing a show called the Florida Project, which is a kind of a documentary reality show of me in this process of what I'm going through. I went to about 5 different gyms, walked into all of them, asked them what their marketing was like. Could I train there? What would they charge me? What does the market look like? Most of the owners were burnt out, bitter, and broken guys. They said marketing doesn't work, advertising doesn't work. These people are cheap here. And I'm thinking, wow, you're just like everyone else. That's why you put up a sign, you went in a shopping mall, and you started paying exorbitant amounts of rent, and you're like, I don't know what to do now. And that's what I find a lot of fit pros run into. I've been in this for 18 years. I understand. I've had some highs and lows. I'm not sitting here saying that I didn't crash and burn. There was one time I had $300 in my account, and the reason that I was able to get out of that jam was that Greg, my business partner, and I stopped being like everybody else. I had a guru say, you need to have a boot camp. You need to serve the masses and leverage yourself. Well, when we went to one-on-one, we started winning. We started making a profit. And we understood that my demographic in my area was more attached to one-on-one training than big groups.
Yeah, they will be, because they probably have a fear of exercising in front of others. That's their number. I know this market a little bit because we've we've got a client here in the UK who serves this market, but not necessarily in terms of menopause. And these guys they're wary of gyms, they're wary of personal trainers, they're wary of exercising in front of others, and they failed so many times. And this is something that also you've probably got this nailed on, but you've got lots of things to overcome. You've got to overcome the fact that these guys are surrounded by adverts for weight loss and health and fitness products. You've got P90X, you've got whatever you guys, Beachbody in the States. They probably got a treadmill or a cross trainer in their bedroom that's now an expensive clothes horse. They've probably watched DVD that they don't use. They've probably tried slimming pills. They've probably tried other personal trainers, boot camps, gyms that they've signed up for and haven't gone to. And I know I'm going on a little bit here. So you have to overcome the fact that they don't believe you in your marketing when you tell them that you can help them lose weight.
Absolutely. You nailed it.
And the fact that they've tried all these other things means that they don't believe themselves that they can lose weight. So you've got two huge hurdles that you've got to try and overcome in your marketing if you want to attract that side of the market. So how do you guys overcome that?
Well, that's the secret sauce is you got to be, one of the things I share with people, like everyone's like, oh, because right now someone's going to listen to this and go, you know what? That's a great niche. I'm going to go do it. And now I'm going to be like, go for it. Because here's the thing. Do you like training that population is one question you should ask yourself. I enjoy working with that population. Can they afford what you want? And then the last one is, can you get them a result? And now what it is that I've gotten the result. And I've gotten the result thousands of times. And it's not me just saying it. You look at my studios, my walls are packed with testimonial after testimonial. You look at my YouTube testimonial videos, testimonials saying, you know what, Rahz helped me do X, Y, and Z, and I believe in him. So because people will do what others have done, and they will look at their peers and say, wow, you know what, Eileen O'Sullivan, mother of 5 children, lost 44 pounds in 12 weeks on Rahz's Metaburn system. I want to know, I have 4 kids, I have 3 kids. They can relate. Anytime that I'm in the selling process with a prospect, I find a relatable client that I can share the story of another successful client so that she can relate and feel, wow, you know what? He can do this because he did it for her.
I think social proof is so powerful. And it's not always just about before and after pictures. It's also making sure that you've got the right person. And I don't remember where I read this. It's probably on a course I did. But by having social proof, it'll be Robert, I think it might have been Cialdini's one of his principles. By having social proof in your marketing, your websites, your consultations, your Facebook, you are giving people the opportunity and the advantage of not having to go first because there's people who've been there before you.
Yes, man, you nailed it. And you know what? I like, for anyone listening, I mean, I sprinkle stories of success throughout my conversation with my clients, and it starts before I ever see them. It's in my advertisement. It's in my marketing tools. It's on my business card. And when I'm sitting down with them before, if I'm screening them on what I call the invisible interview, it's an 11-minute call to find out if they're even the right fit for my programs. I ask them and share with them success stories. And I also, these women are looking to be led. They're not looking to make the decision. You need to understand that. And it's critical because when I started to lead them, I started to close at a higher rate because they were like, wow, I know this guy. Like you said, you went to an expert for your knee. You weren't going to go there and say, oh, you know what? I don't think you should use that surgical procedure. You were there to say, oh, this is what we do. This is how we get the result. Yes, I'll go with it. That's what I do. I lead them.
Yeah, do you know what? I think that's a really valid point. I mean, I have spoken to so many personal trainers and guys that we've coached in the past, and they're selling single sessions, and they're selling maybe one session every 2 weeks. And the question I'll ask them is, can you help a client by working with them once every 2 weeks? And the answer is no. And it's like, well, why would you then try and sell someone something that you don't know that it works? Like you can't service a client once a week or once every 2 weeks.
I won't even take a client on for 4 sessions a month. It's because that client's going to do is going to come with me after 4 weeks. They're going to not have reached the goal they thought, because in their mind, 4 weeks, I've invested X number of dollars. I should get this. If you buy something, you get something. But this is an intangible service that we provide this world. And then they're going to be like angry at me, and they're going to be out there telling everybody that Rahz isn't a great trainer. Rahz's system doesn't work. I don't want that out there in the marketplace. And I can tell you that, you know what? Bad news travels a lot faster than good news.
It does. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't take a client on when I was working as a personal trainer. Obviously, I did at the beginning when I didn't know. But when I got into it and I had my systems nailed, I would not take anyone on who wasn't prepared to commit to at least a 12-week program and at least 2 sessions a week.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
And you're doing 2 things there when you do that. Number one is you're getting clients who are committed, and you're getting clients who will be investing more. And an invested and committed client will get better results.
All day, every day, my man. And you know what else? Like, we have 12-week transformations. That's my flagship program, because I know I start them out with either 2 times, 3 times, or 4 times per week. The clients and I always tell them, you know what? It doesn't matter if you do 2 or 4, because that's not what you're going to be doing when you're not here. But I also, like I was sharing with you, systemization. I give them accountability checkpoints throughout the 12 weeks. So it's not just about weight. And I make sure that I understand. I clearly explain to them what success will look like, and I pre-frame this so that 12 weeks they know what they should look. Because a lot of clients won't even know what they should be. Oh, if I didn't lose 30 pounds, I was a failure. Well, you lost 26 pounds. You lost body fat. You're healthier. You're eating clean. You're sleeping well. You don't have anxiety. No hot flashes. You're winning.
I love this. I thought we were going to be talking about sales really, and gyms and client attraction today, but I think a lot of trainers, a lot of fitness businesses will learn a lot from this. So if you were giving a bit of advice to an aspiring studio gym owner, apart from obviously know who you're going after, what would it be? What would be the first thing that you would tell them to do? It could be location. It could be how to choose the right space, equipment. What would it be?
The first thing I would tell them to do is, well, first master the sales process. And what I mean by that is you do it first. You have to be able to connect with your prospect. You have to be able to captivate them, build rapport, and then move them to making a real decision immediately. So that they can overcome that main objective. I need to think about it. Let me go home and tell my father, my dog, my uncle. None of that. You need to be like, Mrs. Jones, is there anything I need to answer for you so that you can make a decision today? Either way, I'm okay with that, yes or nay. But what I want to make sure is that I've done you a service by answering all the questions. If they've mastered the sales process, the next thing I would say is lose the idea of scaling too quickly. You don't need to scale. What you need to do is master your business operations and make sure that you're profitable. Don't talk about, oh, I make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. How much are you taking home at the end of the day? Because if you make 20 and you burn 20, you actually didn't do shit.
I'm trying to think of what we have a saying in the UK. I don't know if you guys use it in the States. It'll come back to me in a minute. I've written down a question actually. It was at what point do you decide to step away and stop training people and pass on to the other guys?
That's a great question as well. Not too soon is the answer, because a lot of times trainers, right now we all hear about this, I'm one of the proponents of a lifestyle fitness business, but I didn't go lifestyle. Not after year 1, not after year 2, not after year 3. I was in the game for 8 years before I actually pulled myself out of the game and said, you know what? I became the 1-hour trainer. And one of our friends, mutual friends, Ryan Lee, who's been on your podcast, I went to him and he goes, how many hours do you work, Rahz, per week? And I said, I would say about an hour. And he goes, how is that possible? And the reason it was possible was through systemization. I was coaching clients that I wanted to coach. I no longer had to coach people to make an income. So you don't want to pull yourself out too early, because what happens is the profitability of your business will decrease quicker, because it's a direct reflection. The more clients, the more training sessions you have to pay out to your trainers. So you got to build your business, make sure you have some reserve in your bank account, and then you can go, okay, you know what? Let me train someone to do what I do. But what you want to do is train that trainer to be a senior level trainer who's going to require more from your client, and you can charge more for that senior level trainer, and you keep his pay at a proportion so the business still grows with you out of there. So it's not just about just changing dollars to one person to another hand.
I like that. So what I was trying to say earlier was turnover is for vanity, profit is for sanity.
Yes, I love it.
Don't know if you guys
never heard that. Turnover is for vanity and profit is for sanity. I agree. I that is critical. And I don't know, you understand this because you've had multiple success business, but when you're looking at your income statements, which I don't hear a lot of fitness professionals talk about, a balance sheet and it's in an income statement, you need to know, okay, what does that mean? And what is going on? What's the health of my business? Right early on, within probably about a year and a half, 2 years of opening my business, I opened a money market account. And this money market account was an automated $500 every month came out of my main checking account into this account. Why did I do that? It was never to be touched. It was, we still do that to this day. And it's actually increased a little bit more. Now it's $1,000 per studio. But why? Is because when I have a low month, which will come, well, if you're a fan of Jim Rohn, the seasons of business, the seasons of life, it will happen. We have fall and winter. And you want to be prepared so that I've never missed a payroll in 10 years of business. I've never had to go to a trainer and say, you know what, can you wait a week? That is the definition of failure as a business owner. And I've paid myself every 2 weeks for the entire 10 years. I don't say that to go look at me. I say that to say, hey, if you figure out where you want to go with your business early on, and then you stay disciplined to it, you'll be successful.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, what I said to you beforehand was we're going to have a chat about what's your favorite book that you would recommend. And you said, oh, this is a canned question. But I always ask everyone. So I think I know what your answer is going to be, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
I think I know what your answer is going to be. So what is the one book that you would recommend to someone?
I have to say, you probably, because you're probably looking at it.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay, because I have them in the background. Well, my favorite book is Unleash the Power Within. Well, it's right there, The Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins. Okay. But the second favorite is Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich. That is a hard read. I have tried to read that, and I can't. I thought it was going to be that.
You know what? Oh, the 4 hour. I do have that.
You guys are listening in the podcast. It's the 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, and we nearly always talk about this book in the episodes. I find Think and Grow Rich. It's Napoleon Hill's book. I found that a really hard read. I thought the language was really hard. What I've started to do recently is, rather than read, I use Audible.
Yes.
I find it much easier to listen to books on Audible now. And especially books that are quite intensive. So yeah, going back to the Tony Robbins book, was it Unleash the Power Within?
Unlimited Power.
Unlimited Power. Okay, that's a really good one. And the other one was
Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. We'll put those in the show notes, guys, with a link to Amazon if you want to go and have a look at those. They are both excellent books. As I said, one of them's quite hard to read, but I'm pretty sure there's an updated sort of language version that isn't written in early 20th century English. It's a bit easier to understand. So, Rahz, where can we find you if we want to go looking for you? Can you give us a web address or Facebook link or?
So the best place if you want to connect with me, follow, definitely is Facebook. So it's facebook.com/Coach Rahz. That's COACH, Rahz, RAHZ. And my website is fitnessbusinessmastery.com.
Okay, if you're listening in the UK, the Z is a Z because we say it properly. So, yeah, we'll put those links in the show notes. Rahz, it has been an absolute pleasure chatting to you today. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy 1 hour week to jump on here. So yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Liam. I appreciate being on. It was great chatting with you. I look forward to seeing the episode come out and sharing it with the people. You have a wonderful day, my friend.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks. We'll see you guys next week. You've been listening to the Fitness Business Authority podcast. If you want to find out a little bit more about what we do personally, you can check us out at activefitnessmarketing.com. See you guys next week. Take care.